Bonjour YouTube, bienvenue dans cette nouvelle VOD, 16e VOD je crois sur Disco Elysium. Hier on avait planté, suite à la discussion avec machin, là, je sais plus comment il s'appelle, on avait donc intériorisé les réflexions sur le suicide de Krasmazov, donc le théoricien du communisme de ce monde. Donc, suicide de Krasmazov, on avait conclu, je vous la fais courte, mais qu'en gros, c'était certainement pas un suicide, plus certainement plus une exécution, et qu'en fait, il y avait personne qui a été vraiment, il restait pas de témoins, donc du coup, si ça se trouve, c'était même pas son corps qui avait été extrait des cadavres, et en fait, il était des décombres, et ça se trouve, il était encore en vie. Bref, on est devenu plus ou moins un zélote communiste. On a gagné un point d'expérience encore, on va augmenter notre logique. Et donc on discutait avec ces poivrons, on a encore celui-là avec lequel on n'avait pas parlé. Content de vous revoir l'ami.
So what do you want? I got smokes. They're cheap. Very cheap. I got Pilsner. Great deal. You won't get a better deal on that piss. Spirits I can let go for 300 real. I also have speed. And by speed, I mean amphetamine.
Alors, des amphètes.
Aye, by amphetamine, I mean speed.
Je pensais que vous parliez de speed, vous vouliez dire en fait. Je pensais que quand vous parliez de speed, vous vouliez dire en fait.
Aye, that's what I said.
Ok, pigé.
Good, my man. Now what can I offer you?
Pas mal votre petit commerce.
Oh. The system's been good to old Rosemary here, and I'm milking her like a bitch goat in the backyard.
Qu'est-ce que vous insinuez?
You see, friend, man makes his own luck, and I made mine real good. Got my hands on 3 bottles of liquor exquise, sold 2 to the fellows around here, and immediately invested the profit. Bought cigarettes, bought beer, even bought a bit of speed. And look at me now, I've got everyone on my hook.
The hook? Where is it? I can't see it.
On dirait bien que vous êtes bel esprit d'entrepreneuriat. J'approuve complètement.
Hook 'em and cook 'em, huh? You wanna buy something? Let's keep it moving.
Je peux savoir pourquoi une bouteille de spiritueux coûte 300 réals?
See, friend, it's real valuable. Worth every real, if you catch my drift. Got it from a bit of a business venture.
Approuvé, le laisser parler.
You know, it's funny, actually.
Quoi donc?
What?
Keep him talking.
Pourquoi quoi? Qu'est-ce qui est drôle?
This guy.
Conversation might bring a discount, no?
Ouais, mais je compte pas m'acheter le spiritueux. Où est-ce que vous avez eu cette bouteille de spiritueux?
Oh, this is medicinal spirits. The good stuff. Got it from the doctor's office. I got one of those scientific ampoules a few months ago. Torpedo, they call it. It's supposed to keep a man from taking a drink. Didn't stop me for shit, that's for sure. 5 lemons with half a pack of butter and you're good to go.
C'est une bonne astuce, je devrais la noter quelque part.
It really isn't. In a week, the goddamn kidneys started giving me all kinds of help. Finally, the missus took me to a private doctor's office. Not a charity, the real thing. Those arseholes charged me 4 real to remove the damn thing. But I came out on top after all.
Comment vous avez fait?
The idiots left me alone in there. Now, I used to teach high school biology. I know what doctors use to preserve dead fingers. Like 3 cans of this blue medicinal stuff from the back room. Threw the snakes out and voila. What's left is this
C'est du formol.
blue stuff. 98.7% almost pure alcohol.
Snakes or intestinal worms?
Oh.
2 I already sold to these fine gentlemen here. But this last one is yours for 3 real, if you want it.
Je pensais qu'elle valait 300 réals.
Yeah, you thought right. Don't even try to sneak anything past old Rosemary here. I got all senses locked on you, buddy boy. So what will it be?
Vous avez dit que la bouteille valait 3 réals, mais au départ vous m'avez demandé 300.
Aye, that's what I said just now. 300 real. Don't you try to trick me, buddy boy. Now you want it or not?
You acted with great compassion and dignity, not taking advantage of this man.
Non, pas vraiment.
Praise.
So what do you want then?
His tone is aggressive. You're getting on his bad side now.
Ok, non, j'ai besoin de rien. Les cigarettes, ça rajoute à l'intellect, mais ça fait baisser à la santé. Mais la santé, c'est ce qui me manque. Ça me rajoute de la vigueur. Le spiritueux, je suis sûr qu'il sera utile pour une quête. Mais bon, on verra à ce moment-là. Je dois partir.
In the civilized world, it's a custom to tip the shopkeep, friend. But come back anyway.
Ok.
Honorable one, you've accumulated a substantial amount of honor points on your life path. You are a man most virtuous.
J'essaie simplement d'agir au mieux, comme tout un chacun.
Oh, the modesty on this one. Another 10 honor points for you, sir. You are on the fast track to becoming one of the rarest, most revered of all police officers, an honor cop.
Je croyais que l'honneur était un concept dépassé.
Living in the name of virtue and doing noble deeds while expecting nothing in return is not archaic. How can you even think that? Selflessness forms the basis for the warrior code, an ageless code, as fit for nomadic Ilmaran tribes traversing the vast red plateau in Provincia Gordi, as it is for your neighborhood postman.
C'est plutôt arrogant en fait, une forme d'égoïsme déguisé.
No, no, no. You see, you're putting the needs of others above yours. You get nothing in return, not even praise. You always get the short, noble end of the stick. Don't think about it too much. Just say it. Are you ready to get knee-deep in honor?
Je ne vis que pour l'honneur.
Yes, your deeds have spoken for you, honorable one. But to fully drape oneself in an eternal cloak of honor, a ritual must be completed. A rite of honor.
Putain, je vais devenir un paladin.
Even among the honorable, only the most dignified are deemed worthy. But you, O honorable one, have excelled in honor.
Enfin, un paladin qui porte quand même des bottes qu'il a chopées sur un cadavre et qu'il a nettoyé dans une casserole qui servait à nourrir les gens. Mais
honor comes from deep within you, and to truly know oneself, to know one's honor, one must reach deep within oneself and touch one's
D'accord.
honor. You need to bring the thumb of your right hand, your sword hand, to your rectum and stick it in there to form the Arch of Honors.
Tu crois vraiment que je vais m'enfoncer un doigt dans le cul? Pas moyen.
Most dishonorable are those who have known honor, carried honor in their hearts, and then disowned honor. They are the honor fallen. You brought much shame on your family today. Your name will forever be tarnished
Désolé.
by this most shameful of deeds. Be forever banished, shameful one.
J'ai failli devenir un homme d'honneur et finalement j'ai refusé de me mettre un doigt dans le cul. Ce sera marqué sur ma tombe. Ok, bon. On est ici à la base pour chercher... Le panneau est illisible sous le graffito. À la base, on est venu pour chercher des traces de Ruby, donc qui est notre suspect principal dans l'affaire de meurtre, qui n'est donc plus une affaire de lynchage, mais une affaire de meurtre par balle. Assise à côté d'un bac à linge, la femme fredonne une mélodie étrange. Elle a les yeux fermés.
You're not sure about the melody, but it might be South Samaran, possibly Sigayan, also known as the apricot suzerainty.
Welcome to the fishing village. Please lean in closer. I have cataracts.
Si vous ne pouvez pas voir, comment avez-vous su que j'étais ici?
I still have a golden ear. Come, come.
Je me penche en avant.
Oh, welcome, police officer. We don't cause any trouble around here. And we don't want any trouble either.
Je suis flic, je ne crée pas d'ennui, j'y remédie.
Oh, of course. Last time we saw you around here was 12 years ago. You also came to take care of trouble then. Wish you did. But still, in Martinez, you're considered an ill omen.
Qu'est-ce que vous dites? Je suis déjà venu ici?
No, Not you personally.
Ah oui.
I meant the RCM. Some of the men got into a fight. One of them killed another, locked himself in that woodshed over there. He was brooding, needed some help opening the door. You got it open for him and took him to think about what he'd done in a more secluded place, somewhere more quiet.
She says it as if he was on some kind of spiritual retreat.
Quel genre de mauvais présage?
Oh, the usual. Dark tidings. Black hound.
That's you, all right. A black hound licking your own heels.
Je suis un mauvais présage.
You're still welcome here as long as men with guns aren't chasing you. And maybe even then, because that's the kind of fishing village we've built. I'm sorry there's not a lot of room to park the motor carriage. And not a lot
De toute façon, ma automatrice, je l'ai parquée
for a
ailleurs,
lot
ne vous
of
inquiétez pas.
people. My kids are long gone, searching for treasure. So are others. Ah, look at me ramble on. What brings you to us?
Vous auriez pas vu une femme rousse appelée Ruby vers la côte?
Nay, I haven't seen anyone lately.
Ok, mais vous voyez de qui je parle?
This is my little cinder block town. I know what goes on around here.
She's being evasive. She knows something.
Ça n'a rien à voir avec le syndicat, vous savez, vous n'allez pas avoir peur de représailles.
Ah, I should have known. This is yet another union mess. I'm not afraid of them, you know. We are not in the habit of being afraid around here.
Je vois, vous nous cachez quelque chose et vous avez décidé de ne rien nous dire.
There's not much to tell. People come and go. Now, was there something else?
Ruby was here. You know it. Ask her about lodgings.
Où est-ce que je pourrais trouver où me loger dans ce village?
Stay? Most people here are trying to leave. That said, if lodgings is what you're looking for, I've got a free room in the shack.
Combien pour la chambre?
I won't charge you for it. Take it as a gesture of goodwill from the village to the RCM.
Une minute, vous me la laissez juste comme ça?
No one is using it, and God knows it's not much anyway. You can stay there.
Vous ne croyez pas que ce serait un peu déplacé de la part de la MCR d'accepter un logement gratuit?
Oh, don't. It's your choice. No skin off my teeth.
Personne n'utilise la chambre?
My kids grew up and left like they do. The house is long empty now. I live in the small side attachment. It's easier and cheaper to keep warm.
Je vais le répéter encore une fois, vous pouvez me laisser la chambre?
Aye. The room is pretty bare bones, but it's got a bed and roof over it. That's more than some folks have around here.
When Varson communist revolutionary Ignas Nielsen was in hiding, he stayed in a hut on the Boreal Plateau for 10 months.
Ça m'aiderait à rester en contact avec le prolétariat.
You best not be plotting another revolution under my roof. We barely got through the last one. But the room, do you want it?
Non, je ne veux pas de chambre gratuite, ce n'est pas convenable, parce qu'en plus j'ai déjà payé ma nuit.
Suit yourself. But should you ever need shelter,
Ouais, je
remember
viendrai
old
demain, ouais.
Isabel and her shack by the sea.
Qu'y a-t-il dans ce village de pêcheurs?
Just us. It's barely a village anymore. We almost don't exist.
Qu'est-ce que vous insinuez?
This is pretty much a non-place. A gap. A blank spot on the map. Just a cluster of nameless shacks on a nameless street.
The place is so pornographically poor, it's not even funny.
Cet endroit est extrêmement pauvre.
The lack of wealth is the one thing we've got in abundance.
C'est bien ce que je pensais.
Then all's not lost. As you can see, even in pornographic poverty, people make do. At least those who remain.
Il y a forcément quelque chose ici, dites-moi tout.
Over there, you can find more of the same. Sharks and trees growing wild. That's the pox.
La peste, c'est quoi ça?
An old military hospital and its surroundings. Or it used to be, during the time of the suzerain. After the war, it was turned into a goodwill hospital for shell-shock veterans and folks looking for some quiet in the old sanatorium gardens. Now the area is crisscrossed with nameless streets and makeshift cinder block houses. Shacks as far as the eye can see.
Qu'est-il arrivé à l'hôpital?
The goodwill ran out. The staff left and the place was shut down. It's long gone by now.
Qui d'autre vit dans ce village?
Well, there's Lillian and her kids. A few new folks live in the house to the east, but they are away right now. And then there's the drunks. Not a pretty sight, but there's little we can do about it. Home is home, even for them.
Ah oui, j'ai rencontré un groupe d'ivrognes.
I'm sure you did. Nature keeps them in rotation. A new face pops up every now and an old one disappears and is forgotten.
Comment peut-on se faire de l'argent dans le coin?
Here, for you, no officer. The only money we have here is some coins the drunks tried hiding from their women and then forgot about.
Très bien, je voudrais aborder un autre sujet.
She nods, rinsing another piece of cloth.
Qu'est-ce qu'il y a le long de la côte?
Not much. There's the abandoned church, the Dolorian Church of Humanity. It's been there since before my time even.
Pourquoi est-elle abandonnée?
Some things just don't fly, officer. Look around. Who'd go to church here? They built it 300 years ago. Must have been nicer then. The ecclesiastics have tried to get things going there, but things just keep happening. Crime, accidents, other things. The place never stays open. It's a pity. It used to be such a nice church.
She's not telling you all she knows. Keep her talking.
J'ai le sentiment que vous ne me dites pas tout. Qu'y a-t-il d'autre?
Well, there's that music. Music from across the sea. Huh. It started a few days ago, and now it's blasting, even through the night. And now, suspicious-looking people are sneaking around the church. I don't like that.
Interesting. You could look into this ruckus if you have the time.
Que peut-on trouver en bas de la côte?
Before you get to the church, there's some ruins, an apartment complex, or some kind of electrical plant. Run-down bunch of houses, empty.
C'est un immeuble ou une centrale, faudrait savoir.
I don't know exactly. A pre-war place. It used to be something. Before the war. I wasn't here then, you know. Was born in Samara.
Autre chose d'intéressant?
Of note, the old fish market up on the boardwalk. But it's closed.
Qui voudrait venir à un marché aux poissons ici?
No one. That's why it's closed. It was once a bustling place, back when I was young, and so was everyone else. Now, what catch we do bring in goes straight into a lorry for the Delta or somewhere else.
Et c'est tout? Rien d'autre le long de la côte?
What? You're one of those real estate people with big plans? If you want a development opportunity, you can check out the abandoned building over at Lancet. Used to be a supply depot, we think, sending goods and ammo across the bay. It's jammed shut though. We tried to get in, see if there was anything to sell or scavenge, but it's impossible. And now you know everything there is to know about this coast.
Parlez-moi de vous. Qui êtes-vous?
Me? No one. Just an old washerwoman. Mother called me Isabel, if that's what you're asking. And my married name is Sadie. Now it's your turn, Mr.
Lieutenant double effrateur arrière du bois.
Quite a handle you got there. So many titles. One of them double.
She's got a couple of ranks herself. Honored chief and so on.
Vous n'aurez pas trouvé une veste par hasard?
What do you want with a lost jacket?
Retrouver des objets perdus est honorable.
Aye. Laundry fetchers are some of the most honorable people I know. Are you getting a reward for it at least?
Non.
What? You're fetching someone's missing laundry free of charge? Do you not have anything better to do?
J'ai juste besoin de me sentir utile.
None of my business, either way. How you spend your hours is up to you. Anyhow, you might ask Lillian if she's seen anything lately. That girl's got a way of attracting lost and broken things.
Merci, ce sera tout. Ok. Bon, il y a l'air d'avoir des trucs à faire sur cette côte. On va aller voir ici, là. Qu'est-ce que ces choses font aux poissons? Des bottes plus en perception, elles font quoi? Ah oui, non, mais non, j'ai mes bottes d'armure. Oui, je vais parler à cette personne. Ah bah voilà, Liliane. Une femme vêtue d'un imperméable se tient sur le quai et observe un bateau retourné. Elle porte une épée dans son fourreau.
Anything I can help you with?
Ça dépend, où se trouve-t-on exactement?
A fishing village on the seashore. This place doesn't really have a name. It's sometimes called Elysium. The
Pourquoi?
sign on the street leading here is illegible. Has been since they built this place.
J'ai des questions à vous poser pour commencer. Quel est votre nom?
The name is Lillian. People call me Netpicker. I think I have time for questions, and that was actually the second one.
Indeed, you're always confused as to your whereabouts. Ask her about the cool sword. Helps to break the ice.
Sympa votre épée, c'est quoi son histoire?
Unfortunately, the factory sold this one with a 3-year warranty instead of a story. It's to intimidate folks mostly.
Vous savez comment l'utiliser?
Not really. I know some basic moves, and I know it sure as hell beats a knife when you're in a tough spot.
Elle en impose.
It's a regular mass-produced sword, like a shovel or an axe. Nothing fancy, just for intimidation.
Pourquoi vous avez besoin de tactiques d'intimidation?
From time to time, people need a lesson in respect. That's just the way it is. Back in the day, I caught the eyes of many men. And believe me, men need a lesson in manners from time to time.
Pourquoi les autres femmes n'utilisent pas plus cette méthode si elle est si efficace?
What makes you think we haven't? The truth is that almost everyone in this life is scared and tired and stupid and too dull for that. That goes for men too. But they put on an act for us. Pretend like everything's good and living in shit doesn't bother them. Like anyone falls for that.
Matez-moi ça, et je montre l'expression que j'ai sur le visage. Elle vous regarde dans les yeux puis éclate de rire rauque, comme si elle n'avait pas ri depuis longtemps.
Not bad.
Vous aimez ce que vous voyez?
Sure. It looks as if you could face down any horror in the world with that same unchanging grin. It's like a shield.
Je peux vous emprunter cette épée?
No, I'm afraid not. Tempting to confiscate the blade I used to keep these animals in check. You would put me in an early grave.
Où se trouvent les hommes?
Some went to patch their wounds, their lesson learned. Others were more thick-headed. And one of them, I ended up marrying.
Où est votre mari?
Gone.
Parti? Où ça?
To the waves. The sea took him. It was a long time ago.
Mes condoléances. Que s'est-il passé?
Who knows? Maybe he fell over. He didn't respect the sea. Went out there, drunk like a skunk, and sure enough, one day the boat was found floating empty. The bloated corpse turned up 2 weeks later. Now, before you tell me how sorry you are for my loss, know that it was 4 years ago, and I've moved on. There's only so much mourning you can do for a drunk with sinewy muscles.
Il faut lâcher prise, tourner la page, c'est un comportement sain, la vie doit suivre son cours.
Us working folk don't have the luxury to be bedsick with melancholy. I buried him, mourned for an appropriate amount of time, and went on. Life didn't really change that much for me and the kids.
This is neither a touchy nor a very interesting topic for her. She looks like she's ready to go on a date with another, better, drunk. Ask her. Both of you could need some action.
Je cherche quelqu'un, peut-être... Vous pouvez peut-être m'aider?
Let's see. Who are you looking for?
Oula, plein de trucs, oui. Je suis à la recherche d'une suspecte qui a peut-être séjourné dans le quartier.
Okay. When did this person stay here?
Très récemment, ces derniers jours. Je pense qu'elle est arrivée vendredi.
Oh. I've been out on the sea for most of the past week. The weather's been good for fishing, so I usually start at 4 in the morning.
Vraiment?
Yes, that's the optimal time. Got to make the most of the calm. I've been sleeping like a corpse after. The sea really takes its toll. Now I'm just waiting for the wind to settle to get out there again. Sorry I couldn't help you out. Maybe I can help you find someone else.
Je suis à la recherche de cryptozoologues disparus.
I don't think I know what these are. Care to elaborate?
Ce sont les gens qui recherchent des animaux imaginaires.
Aha! Like snowmen.
Des yétis? J'en ai jamais entendu parler.
2 old guys have been wandering around here, nose in sand, talking nonsense about snowmen and the like.
Ouais, où sont-ils passés?
I don't really know. Further down the peninsula, I guess. I mean, that's where they were heading. Who else are you looking for besides snowmen?
Un mari ouvrier.
Yeah, I'm not really looking for that anymore. Not much into the middle class ones either. I could use some landed gentry, but apparently they don't make those anymore.
Le mari n'est pas pour moi, je le recherche pour sa femme.
Wish I could help you with that, but I haven't seen your working class husband. Maybe I can help you find someone else.
She seems genuinely sorry for not being able to help.
Elle est pas capable de grand-chose. C'est tout, je ne recherche personne d'autre pour le moment.
Really? Are you sure you're not also looking for Nadia Harnancourt? Or Ignis Nielsen? Or the great lost city of Ace, under the waves?
Je recherche beaucoup de trucs, pareil.
A lot of stuff.
Oui, c'est mon devoir de flic.
I guess that makes you into some sort of terrier. Either way, I can't help you out.
Malampite recherche sa veste, vous l'avez vu?
Unbelievable. You are looking for more lost things. Doom Spiral losing his jacket, on the other hand, is very believable. I mean, he has lost everything else already. It's a good thing, too, that he has an actual police officer looking for it. Good old Doom Spiral. Upper management to the core.
That's odd. Is she actually impressed?
J'essaie juste d'aider un étranger dans le besoin.
How sweet of you. It really is. I check around the abandoned fish market on the boardwalk. Drunks are inexplicably drawn to markets. Might be why they have such trouble staying in business.
A phenomenon that the spectral hand theory of the market fails to account for.
If one of them lost something, that's as good a place to start looking as any.
Que faites-vous par ici?
Like I said, fish mostly. Sail the waves, take care of the kids, pick nets. Right now I'm tarring a little skiff.
Quoi d'autre?
I sell the fish to people in the Delta to serve at their fancy restaurants. Authentic insular Indian cuisine.
Vous gagnez bien votre vie?
Sometimes I also walk to the beach to see what the sea has given up. The sea is full of
C'est pas ce que j'ai demandé
surprises.
du tout.
Keep it professional, man. Don't make it sound like you're hitting on her. This is what is called a conversation. You don't have to be guarded right now.
Intéressant, qu'allez-vous trouver?
Wood, pieces of glass. Every once in a while we see dead bodies. Human, animal, fish, other odd sea creatures. A mine washed ashore once. Bottles, drugs also. Lost cargo in general. Most of the time it's just wood and glass.
All right. Major choice moment. You only get to ask one thing. It would be weird to say them all. Choose wisely.
Une mine, elle pourrait être utile à la MCR. Où se trouve-t-elle? Parlez-moi un peu de ces cadavres d'hommes.
Well, you're barking under the wrong tree then, officer. I have no interest in floaters.
Bien sûr.
Seen enough of them in my life already. Very unattractive bunch.
Yeah, maybe stay clear of the things reminded her of the floater she used to be married to. Just saying.
Je suppose que c'est votre skiff? Montrez le bateau retourné.
Sure is. The sun, I call her, coated with a fresh layer of tar just yesterday. It'll take some time for it to dry, assuming the sunny days continue.
Le beau temps? Attrapez un flacon dans la paume de votre main.
Aye. Sunny days. You got a problem with that?
Non, madame, aucun problème.
Good. It would have been bad news had it turned out it wasn't a sunny day. Bad news for the skiff, bad news for the nets, bad news for the kids.
There's a moment's silence. She looks at the slushy snow melt on the yellow belly of the boat.
À votre avis, quand sera-t-il prêt? Il se peut que j'ai besoin d'aller inspecter l'une des îles pour identifier l'origine d'un coup de feu.
Shot, huh? The boat will be ready when the sea turns and the winds settle. You can't command the weather, officer.
My prediction, it will be at least 2 days.
À plus tard. Ok, faudra que je revienne. De la thune. L'échelle mène à un banc de poissons nageant dans le varech. Joyce.
I'll just keep the corda lacey in the channel, if that's okay. It's too shallow near the pier. Aye, ma'am. And it's a jetty, by the way. Of course. Jetty. I prefer a good jetty to a pier any day. Jetty?
Something about the way she says it makes you want to sing.
Jetty.
Oh, jetty, oh, jetty. It's good to see you here, detective. I only just arrived myself.
Quel bon vent vous amène?
Nothing, really. I've had my eye on this jetty for weeks now, so I decided to investigate it personally. This cluster of buildings isn't on any of the official maps, as far as I can tell.
That. And she's also keeping an eye on you.
Vous m'espionnez?
Spying has such a negative connotation. I did track your progress along the coast, however, and decided I would be better able to assist you from here.
Test? Ouais, c'est bon, je parle plus fort que...
Then there's the matter of that little scamp in old lady clothes. She threatened to paint the cordelate she read. Like blood, you see. Well, I like it the way it is. White.
What is this? Destruction of property, hooliganism, elder abuse, and who is this scamp anyway?
Bah c'est Cindy là. Qui est cette polissonne? Vous voulez que j'aille lui dire 2 mots?
No need. Lillian and I are getting on much better. For one, she appreciates the concept of rent.
Alors, l'endroit vous plaît?
How do I like it?
Elle regarde en direction du village. De la boue recouvre les parpaings. Les travaux ont débuté il y a 10 ans et n'ont jamais été terminés.
Water drips down eaves of Eternite. The jetty below her feet creaks to the tune.
It's pornographically poor. The street has no name. All the men are dead or missing. And is that the carcass of a
Non,
motor
absolument
carriage
pas,
over
non.
there? I'm surprised that woman hasn't put me to the sword yet. Maybe she will. You should ask your questions while you can.
Dark eyes survey the coast leading up to Martinez. Dull grey metal rests in her scabbard. A sword. The wind is too loud for her to hear. All right. Politics time. Let's react. Real men. Real politics. Real thoughts in your head.
Et pas peur, c'est à ça que ressemble la vraie ville.
Oh, I'm not frightened, officer. I'd never...
Elle s'appuie contre la rambarde en regardant le ciel gris.
Do you know how they discovered this place?
Ce village de pêcheurs?
No, they're in Sealindian, Isola.
C'est quoi une isola au juste?
I'm guessing you don't know then.
Non, j'ignore comment elle a été découverte.
Well, Your condition has left you no worse off than most of these people. The literacy rate is around 45% west of the river. 50 years of occupation have left these people in an oblivion of poverty.
Alors ils ont traduit condition par état de santé parce que souvent c'est ça, mais là c'est condition. L'oubli c'est typique de moi. Je suis même à environ 45% de capacité, mais je vais mieux.
I knew you would sympathize. Most Revacholians will never know what this place means. Our home. This island of matter. Or why they were ferried over in the first place. Remind me to tell you one day. For now, how can I assist you in this new location?
Racontez-moi maintenant, j'ai le temps.
I hear you have singled out a suspect and are in pursuit. This is cause for cautious optimism. I would not want to delay you.
This story, she will tell it only before she leaves Martinez, at the very end of her stay.
Maybe there is something else I can assist you with, while you're hot in pursuit.
J'ai retrouvé mon insigne au fait.
I love you did.
Elle inspecte le morceau de plastique bleu, ses yeux le scrutant de gauche à droite.
She is memorizing your badge number.
Pleased to meet you, Lieutenant W. Freighter Dubois. I am glad to see a man of high qualification. The situation is precarious. What can I help you with, Lieutenant Freighter?
Eh bien c'est tout. Merci, ce sera tout pour le moment. Et donc j'ai la division sémaphore, c'est quoi? Ne vous inquiétez pas, approche avec l'article action. Et envahis sous les yeux après l'envoi du blanche et même sans... Non, ça je m'en fous. Ça ne m'intéresse pas, moi je veux m'intéresser à la politique. Ce bateau à la dérive flotte librement sur l'eau. C'est verrouillé. Impossible de voir à l'intérieur de la maison depuis cet angle. Ok. Donc là c'est la maison de Liliane. Difficile d'entrevoir les détails, cependant les couleurs chaudes et chaleureuses sont réconfortantes. Une jardinière où rien ne pousse, peut-être au printemps. Faut que je garde un œil sur l'heure parce qu'à 21h il faut que j'aille voir le fumeur du balcon. Sauf que je suis presque sûr que quand je vais y aller, ils vont me dire il faudrait mieux que Kim soit là. Des morceaux de charbon industriel brûlent d'une lueur orange. Gousse empaillée et bourrifiée. Paf, je prends.
Hello, mister.
Une petite fille âgée de 5 ans à peine est assise sur le canapé. Elle vous regarde avec curiosité.
She clutches a small stuffed animal. Occasionally, she twirls it around.
On m'a dit que je trouverais une petite fille avec des gantelets ici, c'est toi?
Oh, I had gloves. Very big ones. Heavy, too.
Où tu les as trouvés?
Found them when Lemmy and I were playing hide and seek. In an empty house. Where no one lives.
She doesn't want you to think she stole them.
Et où sont les gants maintenant?
I hid them. The twins were gonna take them. They're stupid.
Elle lève sa peluche borgne et la regarde droit dans l'œil, comme si elle attendait sa confirmation. J'ai besoin de ces gants.
Why?
J'en ai besoin pour une enquête policière très importante.
Oh.
Elle n'a pas l'air de tout comprendre, mais elle a au moins compris que c'était important.
They're in my sand castle. Behind our house. Under the sand. You can break the castle. It's not very good.
Tu es la fille de Liliane?
Yes, I am. Little Lily. You know my mom?
Oui, on s'est déjà rencontrés.
That's nice. My mom is great. She's never angry or anything.
Tu connais quelqu'un qui s'appelle Ruby?
Luby.
Soudain, la petite fille devient très sérieuse et se penche en avant comme si elle était sur le point de vous raconter un secret.
My mom tells me I'm a big girl, but she doesn't know that I can't say Earl. Or like, sometimes I can, but then
C'est tes frères jumeaux dehors?
Yes. They don't want to play with me. They're older and play outside. They look the same. Sometimes I can't tell them apart.
Ils se ressemblent comme deux gouttes d'eau, hein, j'ai dit la même chose.
They look identical.
C'est quoi? Lui montrer l'oiseau empaillé que vous avez décroché du plafond.
It's a grouse.
You might be able to get on Gart's good side if you make up for the skewer you broke.
Hmm. Oui, mais à quoi elle sert?
I don't know.
Je peux la voir? Je connais quelqu'un qui adore les oiseaux empaillés.
Sure. I mean, you already took it. I don't like it anyway. It looks angry.
Ça va me permettre de faire du karaoké, ça. C'est quoi que tu tiens?
It's Lammy. He's my friend.
Lambie is a stuffed lamb that, admittedly, has seen better days. One of the eye buttons is missing, and the fur is tattered in several parts.
En bout tombe en morceaux, on dirait.
Yes. Lammy has lived a long life. Lammy was a
Révolutionnaire?
Yes! Lammy was a revolutionary.
Au revoir.
Bye!
Parfait. Je vais pouvoir récupérer un autre morceau de l'armure. Après, il faudrait que j'obtienne des informations sur les autres, parce que là, je savais juste les bottes et les gants. Qu'est-ce que j'ai ramassé? Ah oui, les bottes. Non, mais non. Ça ne m'intéresse pas. Donc, derrière la maison, le château de sable.
Weather has not been kind to Lily's little sandcastle. The once mighty towers are quickly eroding away. You can see something shining back to you from what must have been a vast underground catacomb network.
Atteindre les catacombes et retirer l'objet brillant.
The walls and floors give way to the giant's greed, collapse and present you with a pair of ceramic gauntlets.
Hop, je max ma logique. Et je récupère les gants qui me rajoutent 2 en affinité mécanique. Mes gants là ils faisaient de l'électrochimie 1. Hop. Voilà, je commence à avoir un petit set d'armure là. Si jamais on vient me chercher les noises, j'ai toujours pas de flingue mais... Alors il y avait la bouée de Classier. Qui était dans les roseaux. Il y a de la thune là. L'eau vient de l'ouest, la source est en amont. Un tuyau cassé. Ouais, la source est toujours en amont. Mais on avait parlé d'un tuyau cassé, c'est ici. Non. Oh non, c'est tellement grand ici, je vais jamais voir tout ce qu'il faut voir. Pas de bateau dans le hangar à bateau aujourd'hui. Cette partie de la côte est restée vierge pendant des décennies. Il n'y a rien. Le hangar à bateau a été construit à la hâte. Il pourrait s'écrouler comme un château de cartes à la moindre brise puissante. On ne sait pas. Le panneau dit entrée interdite. Eh, mais moi je suis déjà dedans. Un ancien kiosque de vente de billets. Il n'est plus en service. Les gens payaient pour se garer ici. Plus personne ne le ferait de nos jours. Ça c'est pour faire un graffiti.
A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall, reaching from one corner to the other.
Encore des impacts de balles. Il s'est passé quelque chose ici.
The density and spread of these bullet holes is surprising. This takes a lot of bullets. Fully automatic rifle fire.
Pourquoi y a-t-il autant d'impacts de balles? Projection analytique.
Unable
Quoi?
to piece together the big picture just now. There's a hole in their hypothesis.
Bon d'accord.
The scattering of bullet holes looks like
Putain,
one
j'avais
giant
92%.
smiling mouth.
Eh ben nique. Rien ici. Là il y a un peu d'argent. Donc Attends, là, il y a de l'argent. Ah, mais si ça se trouve, là-dedans, il y a des trucs. Ah oui, mais c'est juste que je vois pas la thune. Donc ça, c'est l'ancien hôpital, ça. Pipo FALN. C'est un chapeau. Plus d'1 en logique, moins 1 en perception. J'ai une gueule de con. Mais non seulement cette porte est barricadée, mais en plus elle est inaccessible. Une porte, un bâtiment, un endroit où se cacher. Se pourrait-il qu'une cicatrice soit à l'intérieur? Donc ça c'est l'ancien hôpital, c'est ça. Donc c'était ici qu'il y avait un truc à fouiller que j'ai... Non. Donc là c'est la côte, là il y a quelqu'un... Ah bah là c'est les cryptozoologues. S'agit-il de la bouée dont parlait Classier? Au pif.
A metal and plastic contraption bobs up and down amidst the trembling reeds. At first, it just looks like trash. But if you look closer, this must be the boy Clausia mentioned. Ooh, hidden things, secrets, lies.
Ramasser la bouée.
You lift the boy out of the water without much effort. It's not tied to anything. The cords dangling from the bottom appear to have been cut.
J'examine la boule en plastique.
The number 11 has been written on the yellow plastic. It hasn't been in the water for very long, but it's already discolored and slimy with silt. A latch holds it close, but only just barely. The brittle metal of the latch has cracked. Primitive construction, but it does the job.
Je renifle la bouée.
It smells like you would expect it to smell. A concentrated version of the coast. Salt, industrial slop and decay.
Je secoue la bouée.
There's something in there, splashing around.
J'ouvre la bouée.
A shot glass's worth of seawater pours out. Some algae, and nothing else. Another identity misplaced. There must be some cosmic conspiracy afoot.
Je regarde à l'intérieur de la bouée vide.
The boy continues to be mostly empty.
Classier a peut-être pris les documents.
No answers appear to you in the dirty seawater at the bottom of the buoy. Just the heavy smell of brine and silt and disappearance. You could ask the miss what she thinks later if you have the time, though you doubt she'll tell you much at this point.
Je laisse la bouée vide tranquille. La bouée vide tranquille. Ces lourds barrages militaires sont criblés de balles et se désagrègent. Ces bûches détrempées ont une odeur d'essence, mais elles ne prennent quand même pas feu. Nombreuses sont les personnes qui regretteront le bon vieux temps. Des cages minuscules construites avec minutie.
Here we go. Nice and easy. No way out, little guys. Not out.
There's a cylinder on the ground in which the man is arranging some netting. It looks like some kind of trap.
Who's there? Oh, the police. Hello, officer.
Is that the police? Why are the police here?
Le crypto-facho.
Don't worry, Gary. I'll handle it.
Vous devez être Morel, le cryptozoologue.
To what do I owe the pleasure?
That's sarcasm. He takes no pleasure from your appearance.
Lena m'envoie, elle se fait du souci et souhaite que vous rentriez.
Of course. Thank you for passing along the message. That damn water lock is broken, and we can't go all the way around the 881.
L'écluse a été réparée, je vais traverser à pied. Ne pas raconter ce qui est arrivé.
Oh, good. We should really be getting back. Gary could use a hot shower and a warm bed.
Did he say we can go back now?
Yes, Gary. We can go soon. If you see Lena, tell her I won't be long. I just have to do one more round. See if the phasmid has taken the bait. Then we're going.
Il recommande une maille qui s'était desserrée sous l'effet du vent.
For all his passion, this man is diligent and patient. You could learn things from him.
Je suis à la recherche d'un suspect. Avez-vous croisé une femme rousse en cavale?
I'm afraid not, officer. I've been busy digging around in the reeds for days, looking for signs of insect activity. I'm less interested in mammalian concerns, to be perfectly honest.
Parlez-moi de ce fameux phasmidé.
Which is why we've been knee-deep in the reeds laying traps for it.
Quelle est la taille du phasmidé?
I'm expecting it to be quite giant. One known species of phasmid, called the Megaphasmodea zoensis, is about the size of a grown man's forearm. So,
Pourquoi est-ce qu'il est si difficile à dénicher?
good question. Being a phasmid of the order Phantasmodea, a ghost insect, it disguises itself as plant matter. In this case, the reeds. Awful lot of reeds around, aren't there? And I suspect it may have also developed other specialized techniques to protect itself from predators, or scientists, in our present case.
Quels sont les mécanismes de défense dont se sert le phasmidé pour se cacher?
It's my hypothesis that it has evolved certain electrochemical defenses that allow it to interfere with animal perception, impeding pattern recognition, confusing the visual cortex. But I cannot describe how these defenses work, much less how they evolve, without studying a live specimen.
Yes, it makes perfect sense. You're beginning to suspect there's something paranatural about this phasmid. A ghost insect, he said? These people are looking for a ghost.
Un insecte fantôme. Vous êtes donc des traqueurs de fantômes.
No, that is precisely what we're not. We are zoological specialists, looking for an extant species of phasmid.
Qu'est-ce qui vous fascine autant chez ce phasme? Il n'a pas l'air aussi pittoresque que les autres cryptides dont j'ai entendu parler.
Typical rookie assumption. Insects are much more sophisticated creatures than those unversed in zoology give them credit for. Even simply catching a glimpse of the Insulindian phasmid would be the apex of any cryptozoologist's career. But to study it and its defenses, find out how it stayed hidden so long.
Qu'avez-vous découvert jusqu'ici?
Very little, I'm sorry to say. No one's ever captured a specimen, so all our information is based on first and third-hand accounts.
Personne n'a jamais réussi à le surprendre?
Not yet. That's what makes it a cryptid.
Mais si personne ne peut prouver son existence, qu'est-ce qui vous fait croire que ce n'est pas une invention?
I know it's real.
Sa réponse est si sèche que même lui semble pris au dépourvu.
It's clear that his obsession with the phasmid is driven by something more than the pure pursuit of scientific advancement.
By which I mean, I've heard enough first-hand accounts to believe quite firmly that the Insulindian phasmid is more than mere superstition.
D'après Lena, quelqu'un l'a aperçu à Martinez.
Yes, the most recent sighting was by a couple of teenagers along the coast here. That's what brought us to Martinez specifically. It's the first credible sighting in several decades. Admittedly, it's an unusual location for this species, but with all the sewage runoff upstream, it probably doesn't matter much anymore.
Peut-être que le phasmidé insulidien s'est éteint?
I have to resist the thought. Such an extraordinary creature is doubtlessly highly resilient. After all, it's generally thought to be capable of parthenogenesis.
He means asexual reproduction. The females of the species don't need to mate to produce viable eggs. This makes it easier for a species with a small population to survive.
Malin.
Yes, the Insulindian phasmid is a very clever insect. That's why it's so damn difficult to catch. But as a scientist, I try my best to remain dispassionate.
Parlez-moi de ces pièges.
Well, they may not look impressive, but Lena designed them quite cleverly, so I'm sure they'll do the trick.
C'est Lena qui a conçu les pièges?
Yes.
Comment marchent les pièges?
Simple. Attracted by the locusts, the phasmid crawls down the funnel and, having eaten its fill, can't get back out. At least, that's the intention. The net isn't a perfect solution, but we didn't want to use anything that might damage the specimen's delicate exoskeleton.
Qu'est-ce que vous utilisez comme appât?
Locusts. Nearly all known phasmids are herbivores, of course. But we've hypothesized that the Insulindian phasmid might occasionally
pas du tout
prey on
scientifique, en
other
fait.
insects.
A meat-eating stick insect? Does it pretend to be the reeds as part of its ambush behavior? This seems unlikely.
Un phasme carnivore, c'est plutôt improbable.
Thank you for your opinion. We have also included plant material in the traps to satiate your skepticism.
Not a big fan of skepticism.
Non,
This one.
donc c'est pas un scientifique. Qu'est-ce que vous comptez faire si les pièges ne marchent pas?
They'll work, I assure you. The predatory hypothesis, using locusts as bait, accounts for the failure of previous efforts by other teams, which use plants. We have given this some thought.
The traps do seem to be deftly and thoughtfully constructed. It's clear the cryptozoologist's wife knows what she's doing.
Je peux vous poser une autre question?
Yes. What?
Comment êtes-vous devenu cryptozoologue?
I've just always liked animals and puzzles. Searching for cryptids is a bit of both.
He seems reluctant to talk about himself, but he'll open up, if you prod a little.
Pourquoi ne pas se contenter de la zoologie? Les vrais animaux sont tout aussi énigmatiques.
Real. I know you think one is a respectable profession, while the other is superstition. Everyone does.
Non, c'est un métier comme un autre.
Indeed. My methods do not differ from other scientists.
Bah,
I
un peu.
simply draw upon a wider variety of evidence. And I have more hope that something truly surprising might happen.
Et est-ce que vous avez découvert quelque chose de véritablement surprenant?
No, as I said, I have yet to catch a cryptid, although I have come close. Close enough to keep trying.
De quel genre de preuve est-ce que vous vous servez?
Everything from forgotten regional lore to newspaper accounts, like the one that brought us here, to look for the phasmid. I keep a very open mind.
He's interested in things that people believe that scientists don't.
Vous pensez que les autres scientifiques ne prêtent pas suffisamment attention aux gens ordinaires?
Most establishment scientists only care about reputation and remuneration, not real
Ok, Raoult.
research, and certainly not the truth. They're a cowardly lot, and both the field and basement archives can be dangerous
Ou
places.
plutôt non, c'est le mec qui vient du secret des pyramides. Donc vous avez jamais découvert de cryptides?
No. Very few cryptids are ever discovered, and not for a lack of trying. To stay hidden is a cryptid's primary quality. It's even in the name, cryptid.
Du coup, combien de cryptides ont été découverts?
Of the list of cryptids kept by the Cryptozoological Society of Chemnee, which is 4,082 items long, about 2,000 have been confirmed as hoaxes. 2 are categorized as confirmed discoveries. The rest are in differing stages of discovery, refutation, and data collection.
Alors là, c'est pas phasmidé, c'est cryptide. Il n'y a que 2 phasmidés dans l'existence, ça a été confirmé?
Yes, the Chateauquan forest pygmy, who turned out to be an extinct species of primate, and a cave salamander from Grad, who is, honestly, quite unremarkable. It's in a zoo somewhere.
Donc là, ouais, le mec de la traduction, il s'est foiré.
We cryptozoologists are brutally honest with ourselves, more so even than the public. With cryptids, most cryptids are hoaxes or they are never found. That does not mean we should stop searching.
Le phasmidé insulidien sera le 3e.
Indeed. If our expedition is successful, every paper in the world will report on it, from Revachol to Dushantu.
He has clearly done his math on this. There is no surprising him or swaying his opinion.
C'est un rêve de gosse qui devient réalité, si je comprends bien.
It's not child's play. Just because I have to traipse through the mud every so often.
Merci pour vos explications, passons à autre chose.
Yes,
Lena souhaite vraiment que vous rentriez.
and I'm eager to return to her, I assure you. But I can't leave before we finish with these traps. My wife understands that just as well as anyone.
Come on, Morel. We've been soaking out here for days. It's time to go back.
And leave the traps? Absolutely not. I won't let Lena down.
Come on, she wants us back. I'm soaked up to my nuts over here. We'll both catch reed crabs if we don't dry out soon.
Won't let Lena down? Sounds like the cryptozoologist's wife shares a special connection to the Phasmid somehow.
Je savais pas que Lena accordait autant d'importance aux phasmidés.
Of course it's important to her. She's seen it. A verified sighting, on record. One of only 4 this century, and it's hers.
Vraiment? Elle a vu le phasmidé? Elle m'en avait pas parlé.
Yes, that's how we first came to know one another, in fact. But that's her story to tell, not mine.
Needless to say, you must ask her about the mysterious Phasmid.
Suffice to say, it's long been our dream to find proof of the Insulindian Phasmid together. I can't abandon course now.
Et si vous retourniez au Whirling le temps de vous réchauffer, quitte à revérifier les pièges plus tard?
No, no, no. The traps need to be monitored on a regular schedule. What would we do if the Phasmid were to starve while we were sipping tea at the hostel?
He's dead set on this. I could go for some trap setting.
Je pourrais peut-être vous aider à vérifier les pièges.
I didn't expect you to take such an interest in our work here, officer.
Je suis à la recherche d'une femme qui se cache sur cette côte. Il est possible que cette tâche subsidiaire nous guide vers elle.
Sometimes it's helpful to take a break and return to one's primary pursuit with fresh eyes.
Où sont les pièges?
There are 4 in total. One is to the south, on this little peninsula, by the boathouses there. It's very near. Another we set in Land's End, to the northeast. It's behind a small sand dune there, on your way to the old radio tower, after the church. The third is set near the canal, where you crossed, by a concrete slab. A big thicket of reeds going up the slope. And among you should check at least one of those before returning to this one, since I just said it. This one's more of a technicality, but still, better safe and stupid than sorry.
Je suis censé faire quoi si je trouve un phasmidé dans un des pièges?
Bring it to me at once. Just make sure the trap is closed tight.
He's not comfortable with the possibility that you'll claim the find, but he's lying about this even to himself.
Qu'est-ce que je suis censé faire si je tombe nez à nez avec un phasmidé dans la nature?
That's highly unlikely, officer. But in the event you do, I'll spray you with a pheromone mixture I developed. It's made of musk and research chemicals. The pheromone should attract the insect to you, or at least prevent it from bolting at the sight of you. It's quite potent. Will last you about a week.
Vous pouvez m'en appliquer une double dose. Ça va me faire du tort, j'aime pas les insectes. Je suis prêt à m'y mettre.
Thank you for your help. Gary and I will start breaking down camp. If you have any more questions, now's the time to ask.
Finally, you're being sensible. I'll start packing right now.
If it's more cryptid-related business you want to discuss, you'll have time for that later too. But what if the information is vital? On the hunt.
Parlons de cryptides spécifiques.
All right. What cryptids precisely? I usually discuss these things with specialists, so I don't know what.
We would have to discuss. He wants to say, but decides against it, since you've offered to help. You need to ask him about specific cryptids. Cryptids you've heard about from Lena, or his friend Gary. He won't just talk.
Je connais le cryptide le plus grand au monde, le géant de Coconour.
That's impressive, I guess. But have you seen it with your own eyes?
Vous l'avez vu?
I haven't had a chance to travel to Coconour. No. And I likely never will. The Samaskill desert region has been embroiled in a small civil war for the last 8 years. I fear this mindless barbarism may have wiped out the elusive creature entirely. Sightings of towering luminosities have grown rare recently, while they once used to be constant.
Yes, sightings of mirages are constant. A mirage is a constant phenomenon that people have no time to report when a war is going on. It remains unclear what this has got to do with you seeing it, as he was inquiring before. He was just being defensive.
Quel était le cryptide que vous avez failli attraper? Vous avez dit qu'ils s'en étaient failli de peu.
A willow person. It's a long story. One non-specialist would find rather dull.
Willow people? Not at all.
C'est quoi les solifères?
They're not people, really. Some argue they aren't really animals, as they seem to have evolved directly from trees. They're very, very thin, almost flat in fact, and can camouflage themselves easily, wrapping themselves around trees and blending in with the tree bark. In that way, they're not too dissimilar from the phasmid we're looking for here.
Une seconde, vous voulez dire que j'ai peut-être croisé un solifère sans le savoir?
You probably have.
Comment comptiez-vous surprendre un solifère?
Gary and I painted an entire grove's worth of trees in slow-drying paints. It was a bright lavender colour. I was hoping one of the willow people would get paint on it and not be able to camouflage itself. After waiting in hiding for hours, I saw a figure slip from one of the trees, a lavender shadow, dashing through the grove.
Et ensuite?
I chased it with a net. Not very elegant. You can't be elegant in the field. And, well, it was faster than me.
Une silhouette lavande?
I know it sounds like we were snacking on funny mushrooms, but I did see motion and colour. Mine is not a confirmed sighting of a cryptid, however. Much goes into verifying these things, and my account comes short of a few standards.
He makes it a real point here to sound falsifiable.
Et le témoignage de Helena, est-ce qu'il est...
Confirmed. It's 100% verified and meets all the standards of an authentic cryptid sighting.
Vous pouvez me parler d'un cryptide, n'importe lequel?
No offense, officer, but I'm not much of a pedagogue. I don't know what I would have done if Lena hadn't persuaded me to go back to field research. You should ask her if you want interesting stories. Me? I'm not a people person, unless you haven't noticed. And I don't make a good lecturer. My strength lies in field work and persistence.
Dans ce cas, parlons d'autre chose.
By all means.
Je m'en vais. Il est presque impossible de faire partir un feu aussi près de l'océan. Très bien. Peut-être qu'il me faudrait de la perception. Vu que je chasse un truc. Pas vraiment mon fil d'expertise, mais... Et toi alors, le crypto-facho?
Hello, I'm Gary. Very generous of you to help us out, officer. I'm just waiting for my friend Morel to finish up with his insect traps so we can return to civilization.
Vous n'aimez pas les grands espaces?
I like nature, just not this bloody coast. It's mostly drunks and degenerates that come here.
Degenerates? This man respects authority too much. To see the truth inscribed upon thine own visage. Pretend thou art a paragon of virtue.
Des dégénérés. Une sommité en la matière m'a appris à identifier le moindre signe de dégénérescence.
Oh, I didn't mean it in any scientific way.
Serious question time. This man is no innocent. No one is.
C'est votre tasse, ça?
My mug? Why would you think that?
Je sais. que vous l'avez reconnu. Vos yeux vous ont trahi.
I may have had a similar looking mug in the past. That's all.
C'est bon, je vous crois. Je suis sûr qu'un homme comme vous sait pertinemment que mentir à la police est un délit.
Okay, I admit it. I threw the mug away in the trash container behind the hostel. I know I shouldn't have, and I am very sorry, officer. You're not going to find me, are you?
Non, Gary, je veux obtenir des renseignements, c'est tout.
Whew. Thank you. You won't regret this. I won't use another man's property to dump my garbage ever again. I don't know what got into me, really. Work has been stressful lately. Damn Koiko's price dumping us out of competition.
What did you do, Gary?
Nothing. Nothing. Just answering some questions. Helping out the law.
Comment vous avez fait pour ouvrir la benne à ordures?
I know a guy who works with the trash collection services. CS Municipal. He gave me a master key for the trash containers of Martinez.
Pourquoi cherchiez-vous à accéder à l'ensemble des ordures ménagères de la ville?
So I can use the Whirling's trash compactor to store my own stuff. Garbage disposal is expensive as hell. The damn Bohemians run it like a mob. I'm sorry, okay? I thought I could cut costs. I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have disgraced myself.
Gary, est-ce que vous avez mis les vêtements de l'homme qui a été lynché derrière le Whirling Rax dans la benne à ordures?
Officer, please. Let me explain.
Allez-y.
I was only cleaning up. I live right across the yard from where he was hanged, and I saw him stripped naked. All the clothes lying around in the yard, smelling. People are animals, you know?
C'est noté. Qu'est-ce que vous avez fait ensuite?
Then I came out to clean up the rags because no one else would. I put them into the Whirling's trash, along with a broken mug, admittedly. Okay. I was coming to throw the mug away, and, well, I threw the mug there and the clothes too.
Vous savez quelque chose à propos de l'armure de la victime?
Armor? No. I mean, yes. Of course. I know he was wearing armor, but I don't know anything about it.
An infant could see he's not telling the truth, but he's too scared to admit more wrongdoing.
Parlons d'autre chose pour l'instant.
I hope I could help your investigation, in my small way.
Est-ce que vous savez quelque chose au sujet de l'homme pendu derrière le Whirling in Rags?
I told you everything I know, sir. I'm truly sorry for the mug, but I have nothing to do with that.
Uncomfortable shifting around doesn't make him the killer, though. It's something else.
Vous êtes aussi cryptozoologue?
No. I help Morel with research sometimes, and I've learned some things along the way. But I don't usually go in for picnics like this on my own.
After all this time with Morel, he must have an opinion on cryptids.
Les,
This could lead to a good one.
Les cryptides me branchent pas mal. Quel est votre cryptide préféré?
Oh, yes, the burning rhino. Morel doubts he's real, but I don't much care, because I won't be the one looking for him out in Safra Serai.
C'est quoi un pyrorhino?
A rhinoceros that looks ordinary during the day, but burns brightly by night. Well, at least the males do.
Comment est-ce qu'ils font pour s'embraser?
They have special ducts just above their shoulder blades that secrete a combustible fluid. When the rhino is just beginning to light itself, it looks as though it has wings of fire.
But how is this combustible fluid lit?
Et comment est-ce qu'il fait pour allumer le fluide?
The rhino starts running very fast to build heat, then stops, raises its head, and sparks fly from its neck, setting its back ablaze.
Ça semble peu plausible.
Yeah, well, Revacol used to be a flaming rhino once, a long time ago.
Quoi?
That seems unlikely too.
Super solid argument, Gary. Can't argue with that.
Pourquoi uniquement les mâles?
The flames are not just for decoration. They are an integral part of the beast's mating behavior.
Ah bon?
During the burning rhino's mating season, herds of male rhinos, all aflame, encircle herds of female rhinos,
Ça doit être
forming
vachement
a
douloureux.
fiery ring as they begin to copulate. Local peasants call it the passion ring. They fear the rhinos, as perhaps they should. Anyway.
It's clear the burning rhino is dear to him on many levels, some even spiritual.
On essaye. Pourquoi est-ce qu'il s'agite comme ça? Il faut analyser la gestuelle de Gary.
Is he? He's looking comfortable enough. Maybe it was just beads. Sounded like beads. But what kind of beads might a man like Gary be hiding beneath his clothes?
Est-ce que vous portez un chapelet?
I don't pray, officer. Faith in non-existent helpers is a sign of weakness. Not for proper Revicolian men such as ourselves.
Merci pour votre coopération. Ok, je sais maintenant qui a jeté les vêtements. Observe si Gary garde son sang-froid pour déterminer s'il cache autre chose. Ouais, mais ça, malheureusement, on n'a pas réussi. Merci YouTube d'avoir suivi cette VOD. On se retrouve très vite pour la suivante. On cherchera donc ce Phasmidé. Et Ruby aussi. C'est pour ça qu'on est là. A plus!